Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk. We are talking all things wow. If I can get this intro together. We're talking all things wow. A long road back coming up next.
Holiday, I'm Tiki Tomorrow, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Top of the morning, y'all. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk. My name is TK Trinidad. We're talking all things wow, and I'm not alone. Christina's in the building. How are you doing?
Hi, doing good. Early start to the day.
That part.
But
we're here. So let's get into it. What did you think of this episode overall, A Long Road Back?
Yes. So overall, we had some good matches. We got some times where I thought we were gonna see a turn, but we didn't see a turn. Particularly the main event, which we'll get into. But overall, I liked the episode. How did you feel?
I felt good, but I feel like I always get on David a little bit because we started the intro with Santana Garrett coming out, and so she said she wanted a chance at the championship. Abilene Maverick comes out and is like, "I'm going to grant you that chance today." I was like, "Wait, what? What?"
Wait.
And then David's like, we need to sanction it, put together. And Abilene's like, "No, you want it, you got it." I was like, "Well, who is running this show? Is it Abilene or David?" Because there's some things that are happening.
Some dynamics. Yeah, she came out. She wants a chance at the championship. She got. Is that all you have to do?
I guess so. But when we go there for the live taping, you can go in the ring and challenge everybody but the Beast, and you can get a championship title too.
Yeah, everyone but the Beast. No beef with the Beast.
No beef with the Beast. So let's start with the first match. So we had, who did we have?
We have Heavy Metal Sisters versus Spring Break 24/7.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think of this match?
It was a good match. It was a good match. There wasn't any big surprises. I thought overall it was a pretty entertaining match. No big surprises, no big blunders, just a good match. I always like watching Fury from Heavy Metal Sisters. I just like her wrestling style. So pretty good to me. How did you feel overall?
I feel like with Fury, because didn't she do maybe 2 or 3 months ago, she said she's on this singles run and it's all gonna be about her, and then all of a sudden because she was in a trio before. Now she went single, and then of course you're entitled to.
Ooh. We might have lost TK. Give us a moment. For our technical difficulties today. Give us a moment. While TK comes back, what we were talking about was the Heavy Metal Sisters and Spring Break. She was saying that she wanted to do some solo, that she was in a trio. But overall, I really liked the match so far. The winners for that match was Heavy Metal Sisters. Like I said, no surprises, no big blunders. I like watching Fury personally. So Heavy Metal Sisters for the win, and that one was pretty exciting. The next match that we had was a triple threat match. Now, for this one, I was really not sure what we were going to see. It was Exodus versus Ice Cold versus Genesis. We all know how Genesis feels about being the one on top for that one. Ooh, hey, TK.
Hey. Yeah, I for some reason my internet doesn't like morning
Doesn't like morning recordings.
podcast, because every time it's like a morning show, it's just like, nah, we don't feel like doing this. But what were you saying?
Yeah. So I told the people that Heavy Metal Sisters won the first match, and then we got into the triple threat match, the Exodus versus Ice Cold versus Genesis. And how Genesis likes being the one on top, the winner and the leader. And so going into this match, I wasn't sure what we were gonna see. Will Genesis win? Will Ice Cold or Exodus surprises come out of the corner and be maybe the new leader? Especially in the beginning, because Ice Cold and Exodus ended up teaming up on Genesis upon right when the match started. So I was like, ooh, maybe they're getting her out of the way, and then it's going to be an Exodus versus Ice Cold situation. We saw a lot of double chops to Genesis, a lot of double knees to Genesis. So I was like, ooh, they might be taking our good sis out and then just, having a one-on-one. But 'tis not what happened. Genesis got the pin eventually on Ice Cold, and she let us know that she is the leader and doesn't need anyone else. Whew.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. One, not everybody could be the leader, one, and not everybody's suited to be the leader. So there's two. And then Genesis proved, I guess, fight wise, that she is because if she's able to, if they were tag teaming or double teaming on her, and she even despite that, she's able to prevail and still win, then maybe on the physicality she was right. Maybe she needs to go to like a business leadership management clinic, or the 48 laws of power, kind of maybe soften how she leads to become a better leader, because it's clear that she was running the show as far as the direction of where the team's going. Maybe it's just her approach. Maybe that's the lesson that she needs to learn, that she hasn't learned, that even if she, because you can I say this, but she has no team to lead anymore. So is she really
right?
Like,
so like she's the leader of who? Because they don't want no parts.
Exactly.
I'm dead at she needs a leadership management clinic.
I mean, maybe it was her approach, because she's very much bossing them, and they didn't respond to that. And so before, in the leadership management class, before everything goes haywire, you kind of try to wrangle them back in. And if that doesn't happen, it's like, maybe it's you.
Maybe it's you. Maybe what do they usually do? Like, maybe she needs like a team building.
Yeah. The safe falls and all that stuff.
Safe fall. I don't know. But yeah, no, she needs to maybe her approach needs some changing. But what we do know is that she's the winner of, and she's the leader of, I don't know whom, but she is the leader. My goodness.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm dead at the trust fall. That should be a segment.
Yeah, like you just do because, well, I'll be curious to see where Exodus and Ice Cold, like if they're gonna team up or if they're gonna go their separate ways. Because honestly, if you're looking at the WoW universe, there's only so many people that are in contention for Abilene's title. And they're gonna have to do something pretty crazy or outlandish to try to actually vie for that title. So you're looking at maybe a year-ish like wait period, maybe to even possibly touch the potential of the title shot, opposed to
tag team.
tag team, or you had the trios. I feel like they weren't necessarily looking at the overall bigger picture. So I'm curious to see like what's going to happen. You know, what's the game plan? Like, I mean, yes, Ice Cold definitely has a look where she can go solo, but yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I like to like I didn't just run track because it was fun. I ran track because I like winning. So it's just kind of like okay,
at some point we got to try something. They can try like an Isodus tag team situation.
Maybe. I mean, they have well, yes. So then it's Ice Cold and Exodus tag team. They have a better chance at winning, which would definitely be interesting because say what if they win the tag team championship without Genesis?
And they're like, all we needed was to
get rid of you.
And she's like, but I'm the leader. Of who?
Yeah. So it actually, this whole thing, even though it's there's a lot of question marks, that makes it actually good because it's like, okay, well, where is this all going to end up? And that's a good thing because now you're kind of curious. So that curiosity leads to match 3, which is Miami Sweet Heat versus Holidead and Chantilly Chella. What did you think of this match?
The pairing of Chantilly Chella and Holidead, I'm liking it. But it's just a very interesting pairing. I always like watching Miami Sweet Heat. But the Chantilly Chella, they're just so polar opposite personality wise. That is just very interesting to me. But Laurie and Holidead started us off. They're kind of going back and forth. Holidead with the knees to the midsection. They had a neck breaker to Holidead had a neck breaker also to Laurie. Lindsey had a tilt-a-whirl back breaker to Chantilly. So I was like, you know, it was going back and forth. The energy was shifting. It looked like towards the end, like a double spear, which I think they call the Miami Vice to Holidead. Lana Star accompanying our good friends, Miami Sweet Heat. We had a purse to the face. Purse to the face of Holidead, which I think might have, you know, confused her, knocked her a little bit, which eventually did lead to the win for Miami Sweet Heat. How did you feel about this purse to the face, TK?
I'll tell you what. This one time in college, this one time.
Did you give someone a purse to the?
I'm not gonna tell the whole story because the people involved are in prominent positions now. But this one time in college, we went to a party, and you know how it's like you're in the club, and you know you're trying to get through, and if you're of a certain stature, you have to say excuse me because you can't scoot by. It just doesn't happen. So this one girl, I guess she thought she could scoot by and she didn't. She ended up bumping into one of my friends. And half of us were part of the track team and the other half were like quintessential Valley girls with purses. And so, like I said, I'll skip over a lot of parts. However, the girl in question who didn't scoot through got quite a few purses to the faces from the Valley girls, which was hilarious. So when I saw that from Lana, that's instantly what I thought of because a purse to the face, this girl actually ended up on the floor. A purse to the face, if positioned correctly and unexpected, can do a little bit of damage, which it did.
Have a heavy purse. We know, like, you know how we keep everything in our purses. So she probably had like a flashlight, a phone charger,
a flashlight. Why would she have a flashlight in her purse? You have a flashlight in your purse?
I keep a lot of things in my purse. I have a flashlight. I have an umbrella. You never know. I have like a poncho.
But you have your phone. You don't need a flashlight if you have your phone.
What if it's dead and I can't see?
Then you should bring a charger. That's probably the better.
There's a charger too, but it needs time to charge up. You got to think about all these different scenarios, TK. But
make sure you have a flashlight in your purse just in case it gets too dark outside.
Purses get heavy, but yeah, no, I mean that it looks hard. I wonder what she keeps in her purse. Ever thought about that?
it looked like the surface looked like a harder material than the softer material. It was more like a clutch. And I think that's what
Yeah, like an
and
easy.
on top of that, it was unexpected. I don't think Holidead that day woke up as like I need to prepare for getting purses to my face. Like I don't think they have that in wrestling training. I might be wrong.
They should have like trainings for like purses to the face, maybe like water bottle to the face. I don't know, like some in the face, like having to.
That just seems like cat fight. Like instead of doing wrestling or boxing, it's just the art of cat fighting, because that's where it seems you get like purses to the face or nails scratched in your eyes, or what do they call it? A chancleta to the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's I think that's a whole nother league. That should be like the cat fight league where those rules.
You're
like
giving me idea. You know how I feel about that slap show that I like. It should be like a cat fight show.
Yeah, there it is.
Anyway,
there's the money making opportunity.
For the win, Lana with her purse.
What did you think? Lana also had like a after they came back from break, Lana also had a speech pretty much saying that they're dominant. They're the dominant team, which they are. I do predict that they're all going to be holding titles soon again. It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time. So that leads us to next week. So we have Coach Campanelli and Ariel Sky. They have their match. They have their match for Ariel's freedom, which we discussed last week. As far as she
lost that match.
She at what?
We didn't have that match already?
No. We had the match where I think Coach Campanelli had the match against it wasn't Pep Rally. It was another yeah.
Yes.
Right. And then Ariel turned on Coach, and then Coach is like, well, you freely can't go, because I don't know, like maybe in the Rally universe, like you're bounded by certain things, but not, I don't know. So now the match for freedom is happening next week. Match for freedom, which again, then it leads to like, I'm definitely for a solo run, but if Ariel gets her freedom, like then what? Like, it'd be great which I didn't understand. We know why Ariel didn't tag with Team Spirit, because her alliances still were like, it's kind of like having that partner or that person you really like, but they really don't like you, but you still like want to be with them. It's just like, but I don't want you. So
like a relationship.
Right. So, because it would have been the smarter move was for Ariel to team up with the old team of Team Spirit, and now, get stronger and, essentially stake out top tier and then go against them. It's almost like a Marvel movie of some sort. Like head to head. So maybe that's what's gonna come. The good thing about WoW is they definitely subscribe on the slow burn. There's no burning of anything when they're cooking with their stories. So maybe that's the game plan. But that is happening next week, which leads us to our main event, which was, I don't know if this is gonna be the right. Oh yes, which was Abilene Maverick and Santana Garrett, accompanied by Jesse. I feel like
none other than Jesse Jones.
None other than Jesse Jones. However, if like, for instance, like me and you were going to be battling somebody else, and that somebody else came with 5 people, then I would say, hold on 1 minute, un momento, and let me go and get 3 other people, because because it's not going to be there's going to be some shenanigans that happen, which that's what happened. But what did you think of this match?
I mean, David said it in the beginning of the match. Where's Americana? It's a question we've all had before. It's like, where's Americana? I totally understand that she would want to win on her own, and of course, not that she would need somebody else, but just the fact that Abilene has Jesse Jones, and we all know can partake in the shenanigans from time to time. So I was also hoping Maracana would come out with Santana, give her just a little, just to make sure everything goes okay. I'm always amazed by both competitors' athleticism. Abilene holding Santana Garrett in the corner, then Santana with a neck submission to Abilene. So it could have went either way, a couple of times in the match. And then highlight of the match, which may be good or not depending on which side you're on, but Santana gets Abilene in a neck submission, and Abilene taps. We all see it with all of our eyes, but the ref was doing none other than handling Jesse Jones in the corner, making sure so he was distracted. Abilene's tapping. We're all seeing it. We thought we had a new champ, but they did the switcheroo. Ref didn't see it, so it doesn't count. Even though we all saw it. My mom saw it.
Your mom saw it.
The neighbor saw it. The dog saw it. Like, everyone saw it, but the ref, which that's the only one that matters. So Santana Garrett won by disqualification, but she is not the champoni. Abilene retains the champ peon.
Kudos to Jesse Jones, though. This is the good and bad thing about having
want to have to just like
that knows all the rules because they've been in the game for so long. Because Jesse Jones, like, I was like, because when the ref said like, okay, I was like, oh, okay, so Santana like wins by like default. Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, no. Like, yeah. So Jesse Jones knew all the rules and all the little things, because you could kind of see when the ref does it, she points to Abilene like, I used my head, like I
like we got they're right here.
So
okay.
Kudos to Jesse Jones, which is, dangerous in the ring, but also dangerous outside of the ring as well. Because wasn't there what match was that? I forgot who they were up against, where it's Jesse Jones and Abilene, and Jesse pulled Abilene into the match and then had Abilene do all the work. There was a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
It was pretty much a 2-against-1, but Abilene pulled it out. So it's not to say, and this is the thing with Abilene Maverick, it's not to say she doesn't have to cheat. She's actually like, she's good. She's been in the game for a long time. Like, she's been with WoW for a long time. She knows, like, she told David she was ready to come back, and David's like, okay. So it's just one of those things. Like, I wonder the reasoning for her wanting to, not necessarily gain the wins the honest way, like, because she's more than capable of. So, like, why not?
Maybe it's for the like embarrassment fact, like it's for like the factor of like being like, I can pull all the shenanigans against you, and it's like, I could beat you fair and square, or I could beat you not fair and square. Kind of, or like, you find because that riles the competitors up more. That's riles Garrett up more than if she lost fair and square versus if she lost by shenanigans.
Or it's just like human nature, like, because how you're like learn to drive, for instance, which I probably shouldn't admit this, but whatever. You learn how to drive, and you know all the rules, 10 and 2 and all this other stuff. But then you've been driving for a while, and now I've had some friends, and particularly very tall guys, I've seen them drive with their knees because they're so tall.
Seat rolled all the way.
Yeah, their seats rolled all the way back, or you drive with one hand, or you're supposed to be your text not supposed to be. You text while you're driving. Like, you do all the shortcuts, or often, especially in LA, you're supposed to be somewhere in 15 minutes, but if you take the shortcuts and speed, you'll get there on time, but you can leave your house a little bit late. Like, all these shortcuts that you can take, it's part of human nature. Once you learn something, your brain kind of goes on autopilot. And maybe with Abilene, now I'm kind of giving her an out. Maybe with her, because she knows so much and she's been in the game so long, she's looking to trick her brain into different ways.
I can see that.
What it is. Just saying. So I think, and then we finish off, which I'm sure you were gonna get to, the Beast coming out at the end. Abilene looking kind of shook. So what do you think? I mean, we obviously know this match is coming up. Do you think Abilene's gonna be able to, get another win on the Beast?
I think that her time. I think her time is up against the Beast. I think the Beast, even with shenanigans, I think the Beast can prevail. She came out to intimidate Abilene, let her know she's coming for the title in her Beast voice. It's like that. It's like that. It's like scares me when I hear it.
Mm-hmm. It's something you definitely don't want to wake up to.
You don't want to.
If you're not entirely sure. Although totally off topic, I swear I woke up to my dog saying something like in English.
Your dog's talking?
I think so. I'm not sure.
What did she say?
I can't remember. It was kind of like a sentence. I don't know if she was telling me to get up because it's time for a walk, but very, very human traits. So yeah, it's very concerning. It reminds you of that one commercial, or it might be a social media post where it's like, say your dog says one word, like you literally heard them say the word and they never speak again. And now you're just
waiting for them to say.
You're waiting for them to say something, or you're questioning your own sanity. That's kind of where it feels like. But with the Beast, I feel like, you definitely, if it's, you suddenly turn off all the lights and you hear her voice and she wasn't there before you turned on you didn't
invite Beast into your house. So
yeah, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. But yeah, I definitely think yeah, I think too. I think Abilene's days are numbered. But do you think Abilene has it in her to lose the title and start again? Or do you think, this was the stint of Abilene until she almost like a
last hurrah?
Like a last hurrah. And or maybe like on the Charlotte Flair type situation where Charlotte holds it and then she goes off and does other things like movies and creates jewelry stuff, and then she comes back to become champion again. Like, do you think Abilene's kind of on that level? Because I don't see her going through the roster.
Yeah, I feel like it's time for her. I feel like she's probably going to venture off to do other things or just take a break, because I feel like she's kind of proven, I don't know, she's just been there for so long. I'm like, we know you're a great competitor. Beast is coming after you. Just let I
mean, that's Beast coming after my title. I feel like all the reason for me to maybe it's time to take a vacation.
Maybe it's time for me to succumb to the Beast.
There it is. I definitely agree with that. But that leads us to the end of the show. So we had really 4 great quality matches. A lot of exciting things happening with WoW, like we said, Ariel Sky and Coach Campanella happening next week, along with so many other things. I'm sure if that's the case, we kind of did singles. Yeah, we did. Abilene was there. So probably it would be either trios or tag team next week. So we'll see what happens with that. Actually, no, it will be trios because Coach Campanella is coming out. So we might have a tag team, or we might have another singles. It'd be nice if we're throwing out ideas to David, because it seems like things just kind of happen as they are. It'd be nice, almost like have like NXT did, and do almost like a combine of some sort to really determine, because we all think Beast is the one up, but if we don't know what this imaginary leaderboard looks like, because we don't know what the numbers are, like wins to losses, or how do you become the next contender. Now, if you have everybody in the locker room, like Keita Rush, who's been there for a long time, Jungle Girl said she would love to have one go around. All these women actually, we see them go head to head. Then that will do, and then Beast does come out on top. Then we're like, well, there you go, Abilene. I feel like this is gonna be like the second, and of course, shenanigans did happen for the Beast not to get the title, but I feel like this is the second or third time Abilene and the Beast are going at it. When there are other people too who want at least a shot at the title.
Yeah, at least
so
a shot. But I feel like the Beast, they just keep dangling it in front of her, and something keeps happening and taking it away. I'm like, let her have it. She deserves it. We all see it.
I mean, there's that too. I mean, Penelope Pink is a good contender as well. Obviously we have Princess Aussie, who had, my personal opinion, her reign was quite short. So yeah, there's a lot of, and then there's people who haven't been in that title picture. Like I said, Keita Rush would be. I would love to see her in the title picture as well. There's so many people that I feel like could have a really good reign. And I also believe like Jungle Girl should have it just for storyline sake. But we haven't seen her in a very long time. But just so y'all know, she's not. I believe. Pardon?
Unless Jungle Girl comes out like all of a sudden, like how Abilene popped out and became champion.
Because she's not officially retired. We did an interview with her last year, and she said that she would love one more go round. So, and she did help to train the Beast. Ooh,
I want to see the Beast in a match where there can't be outside interference. I don't know how we can make that happen.
I mean, technically, the match with her and Abilene, there was no outside interference. It was, the outside interference. So it
was her own.
It was all her. So, and then Foxy Fierce too is a good one. Then we haven't seen her and her sister, what that looks like. There's just a lot of things that are happening, and also one of the surprises I have to see when this interview is going to drop. One of the surprises why I actually got to interview her. She hasn't even appeared on WoW yet. I saw her in December. So
we have another person that we.
Yes, we have. We definitely have one. We might have a couple more. So we haven't seen. I'm pretty sure maybe next week we're gonna see her make her debut. So we have quite a few people that are
waiting for some debut.
Waiting in the thing. Oh, we didn't talk about that, so we'll do that next time. But yeah, I didn't know if there's any updates news wise.
Oh, for WoW in the news? WoW, that's what I call. You know what I thought about? Remember that CD that's called Now that had like all the a bunch of different artists?
Uh-huh.
I started thinking it's like WoW, that's what I call news. Anyway, it's an alternate title to our segment. WoW in the news, or WoW, that's what I call news. I've been trying to keep up to date with there's just little bits here and there about the Tonga separation. Still not a lot of like new stuff. Just like I'm still no hints as to where they're going. That's my main reason for that I'm still looking for. Right. One thing that we had talked about was that I didn't know was that Miami Sweet Heat being trained by the Anawai family.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think with WoW in particular, we get really lost in, because it's more colorful than other promotions. I think we get lost in their characters, and we don't necessarily, because what we see on social media is still very character driven. We don't necessarily, it's kind of like thinking of your mom, right? She's your mom, but you would never think of her like as a child because you didn't know her when she was a child. I know that my analogies are always terrible, but I kind of feel like that with the WoW superheroes too, because what we see on social media is them being the WoW superheroes through and through within that WoW universe. We kind of almost forget that. Penelope Pink has a whole nother career. So does Ariel Scott. Like, there's so many WoW superheroes that are on the indie scenes, totally different name. And just like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Especially since we cover it on a weekly basis. So I definitely didn't know that, but I don't know, for some reason I thought Miami Sweet Heat were almost, and they tend to say it, and they didn't say this about them, like almost like Steffi Slays, where Steffi Slays came in WoW University, I should say, and she was like WoW trained, etc. But they never said that about the Carlson twins, Miami Sweet Heat, so that would make sense. But as far as the Tonga twins, they had, I believe, don't quote me. I know they were in LA for Rikishi had an event on
Yes.
Saturday.
It was like a Polynesian
Yes.
fest.
I'm not sure if they wrestled or not, but they were there. There is that, and I think they just posted literally like 10 minutes ago that they're free agents. You know, there is that. There is actually a promotion that I would love to. It's an indie promotion that travels to the islands that I would love to see them in. So, you know, hopefully we can get that together. Yeah, there's a lot of different things going. So we'll definitely workshop WoW in the news for y'all, so you guys can keep up to date with what your WoW superheroes are doing beyond being WoW superheroes. So we'll definitely do that. But with that being said, where can everybody find you?
They can find me on Instagram at CHRzate, on Twitter, CH_Arzate, and when the stars and the moon and the planets align, WWT live, and they have not aligned recently. I am so sorry, team. But you will find me at least on the WoW after show, and WoW, that's what I call news.
There it is. Well, thank you guys so much. You can follow me everywhere at TK Trinidad. Make sure you catch Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms at www.talkpod.com. With that being said, thanks so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
I'm Crush from WoW Women of Wrestling. I'm the gatekeeper of WoW, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network